What's happening, guys? Welcome back to another episode with Headbangers Sports. My name's Bobby O'Neill, and today we're going to be going over the difference between a long arm path and a short arm path. As a pitching coach, I see this all the time where athletes are messing up their arm path, but from your perspective, which one's right? Short arm path or long arm path? From my perspective, most of the time athletes are messing this up because they just don't have a clear understanding of what shape their arm should be going through while they're throwing. And it also has to do with the fact that most athletes don't quite know how to time up their arm with their lower body. So here are the three biggest pieces of advice I share with young athletes when they're learning about their arm path. Number one is understanding the importance and significance of how that initial move takes place out of the glove. Being too aggressive or too tense when you're coming out of the glove directly correlates to how you're going to be either too long or too short when you're trying to throw the ball. This directly impacts your velocity, your accuracy, and your arm health when you're trying to throw. So the first thing I try to get guys to understand when they're coming out of the glove is understanding what shape we are trying to produce with your arm itself. The shape I look for is a 90-degree angle from the wrist, the elbow, and the shoulder. If you can obtain that 90-degree angle here, as you come up out of the glove, you'll be able to maintain that 90-degree angle when you flip, which results in a L shape here. If we're too tense out of the glove, it's gonna look like a V, and that V causes you to get too close to your ear. If you're too fast out of the glove, you're looking like a T when you get to the top, which results in you leaking your elbow forward, which also puts a ton of stress on your Thomas Jonathan and kind of impacts your velocity too. But like I said before, if you're used to being in a T position and you're trying to be in an L shape, but you're really tense, that's also going to affect your Thomas Jonathan and make you not throw as hard either. The goal when you're looking for that L shape is to be really relaxed, feel the flip happening with a loose shoulder. So the first thing we're talking about is understanding the initial movement needs to be under control, and we want to try and find that L shape position when we're flipping up this way. The second thing we're going to be talking about is learning how to look athletic when you try to throw. Whether you're turning a double play, picking a guy off at second base, or pretending like you're Dak Prescott, working on your arm path while having athletic footwork is one of the fastest ways to work on this thing without getting either overly tense or leaving this thing behind. So if I'm watching a pitcher warm up and play catch, and he's a traditional leg kick and throw guy, and his arm's looking like it's wrapping up like a pretzel when he's throwing, I'll typically get rid of the leg kick, have him start looking like Mookie Betts or Nolan Arenado or Aaron Judge, and just really start feeling those athletic footworks each and every throw. So first we talked about that initial movement out of the glove being under control without being tense, and we talked about the L shape being loose yet whippy when it gets up into this position. Then we started talking about that initial movement with the feet being athletic and looking more like an infielder. That brings me to my third and final point, and that is trying to emulate the athletes on the field each and every day that you throw. Now, Coach Bobby, does this mean that you're saying that pitchers are non-athletes? 100% without a doubt, yes. I'm saying pitchers are non-athletes. When you guys are going from a leg kick position, you have the assumption that you have a ton of time to essentially go from an inefficient position and work your way back into an efficient position, but 99% of the time, you're not doing that correctly consistently. When you think about the highest rate of injuries in the MLB, 9 times out of 10, it's relief pitchers who have something funky going on in their delivery. But if you look at the most healthy athletes on the field, they're typically the shortstops, the catchers, the third baseman, and even in football, we're talking about quarterbacks as well. So when we can emulate everything that they're doing on a daily basis, chances are you're most likely going to stay healthy as well. You're going to be able to repeat yourself, and you're going to be learning great skill sets along the way. So for this advice, it's not necessarily about the actual shape of the arm path, the timing of the arm path, or how like the lower half and the upper half time up efficiently. It's about how to make throwing hard look effortless. When I watch a third baseman feel the backhand down the line and he knows he has that guy out by a mile, that dude is so calm, so patient, so effortless. He makes throwing 95 miles an hour look like it's not that difficult at all. And when I watch some of the hardest throwing MLB pitchers in the league, and I'm watching how simple and effortless they make throwing hard look, it makes me think that maybe some of the stuff that you guys are doing on a daily basis is really just eyewash. Whether it's the pulling the glove, the reaching for the grass down here, or the over-aggressive sit in your back leg, a lot of those movements are most likely just compensations for mild inefficiencies. So I always ask my athletes, would you rather look like you're throwing 100 miles an hour when in reality there's only 90 on the radar gun? Or would you rather look like you're throwing 90, which is still pretty dang hard, but end up throwing 100 and blowing everyone away? If you answered look like 100, you can just click the pause button right now and get the heck out of here. But if you genuinely want to throw 100 miles an hour but make it look effortless, the answer is simple. You need to learn when that key moment is that you should be accelerating or stepping on the gas. For this, I have a great analogy. If you are sitting on a side of a road, getting ready to get on a freeway, but the freeway is going 75 miles an hour, you're not going to go straight to 75. There's going to be an acceleration or ramp up process that gets you gradually to 75. The same thing goes with your mechanics. If we are trying to go 75 miles an hour right here, you're most likely going to peel out and not ever get to your actual destination. So by training your brain to be at your peak acceleration window during the last 10% of your throw, you're most likely going to be smooth and calm and efficient going through that 90% of your throw. And that last 10% is where everything unwinds and snaps against your front side and you make throwing hard look easy. Hope that makes sense, guys. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Also, feel free to follow me on all social media platforms at Bobby O'Neal 37. Thanks a lot, guys. Take care. God bless.